For me and Sharon's multiplayer comparison, we've decided to go along with choosing Valorant and Overwatch, as they're both very similar games with a 5v5 FPS, with a range of different character options. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, market research.
Okay. On the market research, Valorant has generated over 500 million in revenue, primarily through in-game purchases and event-related sales. And Overwatch has generated over 1 billion in revenue since its release, driven by game sales, in-game purchases, and merchandising. And you can press next, and next. This is the popularity of Valorant and Overwatch in Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And next, this is the YouTube view stats. And you can see the Valorant has 247 uploads, but 501 million views. And Overwatch has 5K uploads, but 282.8 million total views. And the Twitch watch hours and online player of Valorant is more than Overwatch. The reason why I think Valorant is more popular compared than Overwatch has two reasons. The first one is game popularity. Valorant is a newer game releasing in 2020. It has earned a great deal of attention with Riot Games, known for their successful game League of Legends. And the second reason is game updates. The frequency of updates and new content release can affect viewership. Valorant has seen regular updates, while Overwatch updates pace has slowed down compared to its earlier years. Okay, next.
Yes.
Core mechanic.
Yep.
In Valorant, players have to select agents with unique abilities. I can press next. So below is an example pictures. That one is Sage. She has a unique abilities is heals. You can heal your teammate or yourself. And the Valorant engage in tactical 5v5 combat, plan or defuse bombs or eliminate the enemy team. Next. So that one is the picture. And the mechanic of Valorant is the game combines precise shooting mechanics with strategic use of agent abilities to outplay opponents, and matches consist of multiplayer rounds, which players scoring points by achieving objective or eliminating opponents. Okay.
Yep. And Overwatch is similar in its gameplay mechanics. But like since it's been around longer, it's got 40 options for different characters that can be chosen from, and three different class systems of support, tank, or DPS. The game heavily relies on the team, each player working together in a team to capture points and escort the payloads. The each character also, much like Valorant, has their own unique abilities, which makes it so that like each player will have their own preference and comfort with each character. In competitive, matches are broken into 3 rounds or a best of 3. So once one match has completed or been won or lost, they will move into the next round until someone wins the best of 3 match.
So player vs player mechanic. The win and loss condition in Valorant is win by planting and detonating a bomb. Defender win by defusing the bomb or running out of the clock, like the picture one. And the scoring points are earned by eliminating enemy or completing objective. And both of them have the similar feedback mechanic. So it's damage numbers, health bar, and hit markers. Okay.
Yep, and in Overwatch, the win and lose conditions are determined by which map you're playing. So if you lose, or if you're defending, you can lose the match by the opposition claiming all objectives. Or you can win the match by running out the clock. The scoring based system in Overwatch is there's no one specific scoring. So but during the matches you can have a player scoreboard, which is based off how much damage you've dealt, how much you've healed your allies, if you've managed to avoid, or like if you have shields that have taken damage, that goes under damage mitigated, as well as how many eliminations, assisted kills, and how many times you've died is recorded. In competitive, you also get something called competitive points, which are rewarded at the end of the game, sort of to encourage players who are losing to stick through the whole game as well. But the winning team in competitive matches will get more competitive points than the losing. Also has the same feedback mechanic.
The tolerance, pros and cons mechanic that affect PvP balance. So we found there's 6. So the first one is agent abilities. Each agent has unique abilities that influence gameplay. The pros is encourage strategic play and team coordination. The cons is unlock mechanic. Some player might feel frustrated when facing enemy who has unlocked more powerful agents. So they believe they win because of the overpowered agent's abilities compared than personal skills. And number 2 is weapon economy. Player earns currency to buy weapon skills each round. So the pros is it adds strategic depth to each round. Player must decide when to save money and when to spend it. The cons is punishment of mistake. Example, player buy an expensive weapon and lose it earlier will put his team in a bad positions. So number 3 is round-based gameplay. It means matches consist of multiple rounds with objectives such as planting or defusing a bomb. So the pro is control placing, let player break in a natural timing. Player can regroup, making strategy and prepare for next round. The cons is long game and inflexibility. Some players chose to leave game earlier because they have limited time. So this might cause their team to lose the game easier. Controlling key area of the map. Pro is controlling key area of the map can provide valuable resource such as power-ups, advantageous position, and better visions. The cons is predicted strategies. Both teams may focus heavily on controlling key areas. This can make the game feel stagnant and boring. Number 4 is precise gunplay. It emphasizes on skillful shooting mechanics. Pros is rewards player skill and precision. Cons is can be challenging for a new player. Shooting skill between new player and old player can be quite obvious. This can lead unbalanced matches for a new player. So the last one is communication and coordination. Vital of planning strategies and executing plays. The pros is it enhances teamwork and strategy. Cons is language barrier. Example, players from different regions may face language barriers, leading to misunderstanding and argument. Okay.
Okay. So the Overwatch pros and cons to the mechanics I found are the characters are a big part of the mechanics. So there is, as I said, like a large variety of unique characters with their own special abilities. And like this can work really well because players find that one character will be really tailored to their comfort style and such. But the downside is that because some people like can complain that characters are overpowered, or even just randomly it feels like Blizzard will update the game and can change the character's abilities in like small, like most often it's in small ways, but for some characters such as like Symmetra, it can be a very big change. Originally, she was like she was a part of a role called Defense, which was similar to a DPS. But after an update, she became a support character, and a lot of her abilities changed. She didn't gain the ability to heal her allies either, so that was a strange choice. Uh, a a pro for another thing is that Overwatch is free to play, so it's more enticing and accessible for players who want to try the game, since they don't have to like pay for the game originally or pay for the subscriptions. They can just sort of play it off the bat. However, it does mean that, like in the Overwatch 2, there has been much more emphasis on like in-game purchases, such as like loot boxes, skins, and like the new edition of battle passes. Uh teamwork and teamwork is like a big factor in Overwatch. If you can like communicate with your team clearly and like you all understand how you're going to get the push for the objective and you stick together and work together, you can have like a really good and fun match and the game flows really well. However, there's often like a lack of communication. Like the only way to really communicate with your team is through the voice chat. And if you're not playing with your friends, most people don't tend to use the voice chat, except for in like competitive from my experience. And people, it can become like really chaotic as people do their own thing and you very quickly lose matches. Uh, and then the last thing is that a lot of the player characters are ranged fighters. So like if your preference is like a medium or a long ranged fighter, then you're like in luck. And some of the maps will like specifically tailor and be really great for long ranged fighters and snipers, that sort of thing. But from what I've like the downside is like from what I can see, only 3 characters are like close ranged. And even then, like some of them have uh like a singular ranged attack. So if that's your play style, it's like you're sort of out of luck, but also fighting against other characters who can hit you long before you can hit them is puts you at a great disadvantage. So
Game modes. This is one of the reasons why we choose Valorant and Overwatch, because both of them has quick play and competitive mode and arcade mode. So the competitive mode of Valorant, so the main mode is unrated mode, which we say in the previous slide, like the core mechanics slide. So 2 teams of 5 players compete against each other. The attacking teams aims to plant a bomb called the spike at designated site on the map, while the defending teams tries to prevent the spike from being planted or defuse it if it already planted. So Valorant has a few arcade modes. The first one is Deathmatch. The gameplay is 14 players enter a 9-minute free-for-all match, and the first person to reach 40 kills or the player who has the most kills when time is up win the match. So the second one is Spike Rush. This mode is a rush mode of unrated mode. The match is played as best of 7 rounds. The first team to win 4 rounds wins the match. Next is Snowball Fight. This is a seasonal mode. This mode is for celebrating seasonal events with team cosmetic and gameplay elements. So player aims to eliminate opponents with snowballs. The last one is Escalation, a team-based mode where players progress through a series of increasingly powerful weapons by scoring kills. The first team to cycle through all of the weapons wins the match. Okay.
in Overwatch, the two most default modes is the quick play and competitive. So for those, you have assault escort map. Oh, no, sorry. You have assault maps where your objective is to run it, where the attacker's objective is to get to the defense's capture points and take claim of them. And there's normally 2 captures that you have to do before you win the match. Escort is where there is payload that has to be moved from one point of the map to the other, starting from the attacker's side into the defense side. Control is where there is a singular point in the middle of the map and both sides must try and claim it. And hybrid mode is a mixture of the assault and escort, where you have to first claim a point and then escort it across the map. There is also the arcade mode. There are many arcade games. Some of the examples are Capture the Flag, where both teams have have flags, and it's the traditional run across the map, grab the flag, and bring it back to your base. There's Deathmatch, where it's a free-for-all, and it's like the first to a specific number which I can't remember right now. And then that person wins the game. Elimination is similar to deathmatch in that it's a free-for-all, and the last one standing wins. And then throughout the year they'll have seasonal games, like for Christmas, Halloween, the Olympics, those sorts of things. And those games include like the Junkerstein, Lucio Ball, and like the Yeti Hunt. There is a long list of them though, so those are only a few examples.
Lobby system. The lobby system of Valorant is pretty easy to understand and use for player. You can choose the map you like in the map option. Also, you can choose the server in the server option. Even it will place your lowest ping country at the first row. As you can see the picture, it shows the Sydney is in the first place. So next, you can choose game mode in the game mode option. Also, you can toggle allowed cheat, tournament mode, overtime, play out all rounds, high map story at the custom game option. Yeah, okay.
In Overwatch, while first you select which match you would like to play, and in the meantime you have the options to join skirmish matches, which are just free for all, don't count for anything. You can like newer features also include like going to the training room. Well, the newer feature for that is that you can now do it in groups. So you can go to the training room to practice and play and try out each of the different characters you have available. There is a death match. And there's the game browsing option where you can go and look at custom player maps and play them in the meantime while in the background you're still queuing for the match that you've selected.
Ethical consideration. The first one is toxic reporting. It's a system where player can report bad behavior like rude talk, player ruining the game, or cheating. So the Riot Games review reports and take action, like giving warnings or banning players. Second is monetization ethics. It focuses on fair monetization practices, with most purchases being cosmetic items like skins, emotes, and sprays, avoiding pay-to-win scenarios. So, as I know, Overwatch is a loot box. They can buy loot box and get maybe something like a skin. And Valorant is maybe the skin of the guns. So the next one is inclusivity. Characters representing different gender, races, and body types, promoting inclusivity and representation. So, like Overwatch example, the Overwatch has characters from around the world, like Mei from China and Lucio from Brazil. This diversity helps player feel represented. And the last one is accessibility setting. Both of them has options like colorblind modes and adjustable key binding, but they also have different accessibility setting they each don't have. So Valorant example is Valorant offer option to adjust text size and color contrast. It helping player with visual impairments to see important details clearly. And Overwatch example is Overwatch includes setting for text to speech, making it easier for players with different needs to enjoy the game. Okay.
Yep. And on that inclusivity with Overwatch, because it's like a big part of its marketing. I wanted to thought I would go through like the different diversities that they have. So as of right now, there's 40 playable characters. This includes 17 females, 15 males, 1 non-binary, 2 animal characters, 5 robots, but in the game they're referred to as Omnics, of those previous humans, of those previous females and males, 6 are LGBT, and in total there are 24 different nationalities of the 40. And that's it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for listening to our presentation. Bye.
Bye bye.